1,000 kilometers, that's the first flat. Yes, here in Sierra Leone it's a bush plum. A children overload.
Thomas, how was your day?
Rainy a bit.
So what is the idea? Starting in my hometown, I want to travel across Europe, down towards Gibraltar, and then continue on the west coast of Africa, all the way to Cape Town, crossing African continent on bicycle. This is one part. The second part of the adventure is to capture and share whole experience, discovering local culture and traditions, discussing interesting facts about history, politics, and economy from local and Western perspective. Previously, I cycled through Guinea and visited the highlands of Futajalon and found family of wild chimpanzees, while enjoying the serenity of countless Guinean waterfalls. And after mishaps with online visa system, I'm back on asphalt roads, heading towards capital Freetown.
Here is it, Sierra Leone. After a struggle with the non-functioning online visa system, which I paid for, and it was a double price of visa on arrival, I made it. And yeah, Sierra Leone. Need a haircut.
Just like people arriving by airplane, I had to take ferry to get to Freetown.
Also in the tickets at the port, going to Freetown.
And after 1 hour ride across Tagrin Bay, I arrive in the famous Freetown. Besides getting visa for my next countries, Liberia and Cote d'Ivoire, I wanted to see and experience the heart of Freetown.
The same old system and the same problem. So what do we for do? We never did. Wait for make this problem, yeah, so when no don't clean back home, if I'm with them. The same old system and the same problem. So what do we for do? We never did. Wait for make this problem, yeah, so when I've been telling mama and the papa them, don't clean. This time we brother them, don't clean. We anticipate the good that they want to just a thing. When they ask me, uncle, they say them belly empty. No see the moon, they can you feel say don't clean. Nothing brother, no they.
Just before arriving, the iconic cotton tree, closely tied to the history of Freetown, was unfortunately damaged by lightning. As there is a lot of traffic and the town is very hilly, it can be sometimes challenging to cycle there. Before leaving the town, I needed to do some cleaning and bicycle maintenance.
The chain number 3.
On my way through the town, I found a motorcycle cleaner, and the guys there did a really good job. Miriam, whom I met in Guinea-Bissau, was also in Freetown, and agreed to cycle together to Kenema, the city famous for diamonds and Ebola outbreak.
Hello, Mariam. Yeah.
And together we left Freetown, cycling towards the center of the country.
Well, that's Sierra Leone, inland. Not so much forest, only this kind of deforested areas, but otherwise it's a nice place.
Right after the beginning of rains, the mango season ended. And instead, pineapples started to fill the roadsides. And every passing by car gets surrounded by local pineapple sellers. We often stop in the villages and ask people to cut it for us. It is the treat enjoyed by everyone. Although traveling on asphalt roads provides smooth cycling with occasional great scenery, but we both miss nature and genuine encounters. But there was something waiting for us. At the dawn of 19th century, during the colonial times, a colossal project has been just finished in Sierra Leone. It was 350 km long railway between Freetown and Town Daru. After 80 years of its faithful work, the railway system was decommissioned. However, some of its features, like railway bridges and leveled ground, still exist. And it's this single track, through the jungle, we are about to start cycling. It was getting late and we were still stuck on the muddy track. It is not nice to camp outside during rain season. Apart from being totally soaked, after dark one cannot leave the tent without being followed by a swarm of mosquitoes, potentially carrying malaria. Luckily, a little further we found a remote village, and after explaining our situation to the chief, we were allowed to stay at his house.
Hello.
And here I'm sleeping in the chief's house in a rainforest in Sierra Leone.
In the village they were also preparing the national dish of Sierra Leone, the cassava leaf stew. The stew usually contains palm oil and dried fish, and is accompanied by rice. While the dry fish is brought from the coast, the palm oil is produced locally. And just after we left the village, we had a chance to see such a preparation. After collecting the palm nuts, the lady cleaned the remaining shells on the bamboo mat. Then the palm nuts are ready for the next step, where the whole family is involved in operating the press. Together they squeeze the oil from the palm fruit, which drips down to the collective basin.
Let me get money. You have money. Let me get. Yeah. You have money. I'm see the bag. Yeah, I'm see the waist bag. Plenty money inside.
Discussion normally goes like this, and I often give a small money to the families. But this time, it was a bag of candies for the hard-working kids. While traveling, I noticed 3 signs indicating that one is in native forest or jungle. One of them is ants, especially the large colonies that can be found moving across the road. The second sign is number of bird species. Among them stands out the great turaco. Hearing its outwardly sound, immediately arouses feeling of being deep in West African jungle. The last one is the presence of big old trees, like cotton or ceiba trees. But these are getting surprisingly low in number. I mainly saw them close to shrines or villages. Another sign could be to spot some wildlife, but that is rare, even in the national parks. Following the train track, on our way to diamond town Kenema, we had only few kilometers left. But then this happened. Flying a drone in narrow space is not the best idea. Luckily it didn't get any damage, although I blame the Mariam a little for this one. In addition to crashing the drone, I also managed to get my first flat tire.
How it happened, I hit the stone. I hit a big stone and it more like a cut through it rather than the flat itself. But yeah, here it is in Sierra Leone. I have a lot of helpers.
And unfortunately our luck with the breakdowns continued.
Old train station, Bendu.
The trail through the old railroad track was amazing, but riding through rainy and muddy roads takes its toll.
With Mariam, which is not very happy, since her rim has a crack in it, because she is happy overloading her bicycle.
All about food.
Yeah, the food is important.
When traveling through the forest, our electronic devices such as cameras or a phone we use daily for GPS run out of the battery. And as there is no power grid, it is difficult to charge them. But even in the villages, someone has a charging station like this. Although successful charging is not always guaranteed. We headed out of the forest, back to the grassy landscape. The cracked rim didn't look that serious, but we decided not to continue on the dirt track to ease the stress on the wheel. And reach Kenema on the paved surface. And after days riding through the forest, we finally reached Kenema.
Hello guys. Okay. Hello.
So this is Kenema City.
After the long forest ride, mainly eating the cassava leaf stew, we were eager to see what do they sell in the market. And the market one can buy sliced leaves like this. Buy whole vegetable like garlic or spicy pepper, and has it minced in another stall for a small charge. And the stall with the food immediately caught our interest. Spaghetti, beans and egg is always the safe option.
Mine. Yeah. For your African system.
And while we were eating, the kids next to us were playing drafts with bottle cups.
Here in Kenema, the Diamond region and also entrance to the Gola National Rainforest.
We were hoping to see Gola Rainforest, but the cost of the visit was little discouraging. Although it is very affordable for the East African standard, I had different consideration. I was not even at half of my journey across Africa, and therefore needed to be more frugal. Then we got to know about another possibility. It involved a very rare animal, which is native to the forest of West Africa, but due to loss of the habitat and hunting became very endangered. Our aim changed. We decided not to visit Gola Rainforest and instead head to a river island. As for the cracked trim, it didn't get worse, so we were more confident on getting onto dirt roads again. Heading towards Tiway Island, a dedicated wildlife sanctuary located on the Moa River, in the southern part of Sierra Leone.
Yeah, that's the 5.
Also known as Golden 5, there is also a Magic 6, but that one is very rare. As we were crossing one village, we noticed a traditional blacksmith. His job is forge the tools used by local communities. Before leaving, I also had a chance to show them the traditional forging from Morocco.
Close to Liberian border here in Sierra Leone, going to Tiwai Island. It's very pretty out here.
Out of all the names for a white man in West Africa, like Tubab or Yobo, Mui was definitely the most pleasant one. As we arrived at the local school, they offered us a place where we could pitch our tents and spend the night there before continuing on the road towards Tiwai Island.
It's a bush, I was told, and tastes okay. Tastes like a chewing gum, to be honest, or a gummy bear. It's okay. Heading to Tiwai Island. Road is this seems to be old diamond mine, which right now we just a large overgrowth, but before it seems like, you know, there were some holes in the ground, and also this area was occupied by the militia during the war, so it's very likely been used before for the diamond mining.
But just before getting to the island, we had to cross Moa River on a dugout canoe.
Hello, how are you? We are waiting for the canoe, which is supposed to arrive from that other side. He just took a motorcycle with it, so it should be more than capable of handling the bicycles. Well, and that's the way to the island.
As we found it safer to transport bicycles individually, I went on first and Marian followed me in the second canoe.
So, here I'm in a canoe. It's a dig-out canoe. Quite a nice shape.
We were heading to another side of the riverbank, where we arranged camping in one of the communities.
Thank you.
We were excited about finally reaching Tiway Island, a wildlife sanctuary boasting many species of monkeys and other mammals, including elusive pygmy hippo, native to the region. As we wanted to see the hippo, we arranged a canoe trip with the local community, giving us best chances to spot it.
So, Thomas, where are you going?
We are going around the Tiwai Island on a canoe, which is the preferred trip for today. And yeah, I'm looking forward. Seems to be very nice weather, and with our luck we hope to see a pygmy hippo, which some people wait for a month to see it, but fingers crossed.
Let's see.
While we were on the canoe, I asked about the situation during the Civil War, happening between 1991 and 2002. Upstream of the Moa River, towards the east, it is the area infamously known for the horrific accounts of the Blood Dimond industry, happening during the Civil War in Sierra Leone. Even the Tiwai Island was controlled by Revolutionary United Front, or in short, RUF. Local guide recollected how the militia formed a base on the island, killing many animals for the bushmeat. The guide explained that the machetes were no match for the arms of rebels, and therefore they had to comply in every way. The rapids on the river brought the conversation back to our aim. The guide explained that pygmy hippo is currently classified as endangered. Although it breeds well in the captivity, its numbers in the wild are dwindling. Due to its scarcity and habits, only a handful of people in the world were actually able to film the pygmy hippo. They are nocturnal animals and spend most of their day in the water, making them very hard to spot, let alone observe. On our search, we came across the place which the hippo recently used as an access point to get back to the safety of the river.
The footprint of the hippo.
The hippo was back in the water and unlikely to come before the nightfall, so we turned our attention to another animals inhabiting the area. We took off to one of the river islands in hope of finding monkeys living high in the trees.
There's a monkey.
The guide also showed us a technique by making an arrow on the ground and placing a cut twig on the way to avoid getting lost, and explained to us different wildlife present.
They live in different type of primates, We have like black and white colobos, Diana monkey, sport nose, cambos, olive, and mangabe, and all these monkeys are living on the island. Let's eat it.
On our way back to the village, the guide also explained us about different crops they plant.
2.5 months. Yes. Wow, 3 months for a groundnut. I didn't know.
As groundnut or a peanut is one of the most common crops in West Africa. Afterwards, they show us another local products like coffee, bananas, and even a wild pineapple.
So the native one is green and they have a lot of spines on it.
We said goodbye to our guides and the forest, getting back to our bicycles and riding towards Liberian border. We were also in a hurry to leave, as soon the presidential election will be held, which in Africa can easily go both ways.
That's election time in Sierra Leone.
And what about the elections? It's peaceful or you have the...
No, but really, if you talk about the global, peace,
Yeah.
Sierra Leone, we are in number 1 in terms of peace country in West Africa.
Yeah, man! Sierra Leoneans! What's the way to do for push this country go before? Wake up your body and do something.
And it's time to go to Liberia.